During gameplay, they might use real-time solvers, use advanced charts, data mine, bum hunt, collude, ghost, and so on. What is and so on? Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Today with a rather serious topic. No poker review, no live play, no poker tips. I want to talk about the Duty case. Joe Ingram made already a video about that. If you're not familiar, we're going to put a link into the description. He's breaking down the story. I don't want to do his job here. I think he did an excellent job. There's nothing to add on that anymore. I mean, I have some more thoughts to share on that as well, but he's breaking the story down in a very excellent way. So check it out if you don't know what I'm talking about. Also, we're going to link or put the link into the description where Duty is sharing the story on 2+2 as well, so you can read into that. I don't want to talk about the story that about Duty itself. I want to talk more about the entire situation, that the way GG Poker has handled it, the way the players, not only Duty but everyone that got affected by returning, getting banned for bum hunting, getting a warning. We should not neglect that. Of course, I want to be objective here. I'm not only going to criticize the poker side, I'm also going to criticize the poker players. And then returning and being warned, if you return, your money is being confiscated. So this is of course important to consider. We should not neglect that. However, this doesn't mean that GG Poker was doing an excellent job in handling that situation. So then the players return, they play, they lose money, they start winning, and then they start, of course, you try to withdraw some money or to send some money somewhere, and then you get banned or banned again, and your money is being confiscated. So first of all, I do appreciate that GG Poker is trying new things. They're trying to be innovative and they're trying to fight bum hunting. I've never been a big fan of bum hunting. I think this is something that needs to be tackled. So far, with little success, I would say. I don't understand. I mean, some poker sites have anonymous tables. They have one player pool. You jump into the player pool and then you get randomly seeded with other players. I think it's easy to resolve. I don't understand all the fuss around this this bum hunting problem. And I also don't understand that GG Poker is trying to fight bum hunting. And they put it in their terms. It's like, yeah, we're against bum hunting. And then they start randomly, to me, it's randomly banning people because it's not clearly defined what bum hunting means, right? So if you want to be innovative, and this is something that is, to my point of view, unprecedented so far, because there hasn't been a poker site, at least to my knowledge, that went so aggressively against poker players or against poker players that are bum hunting or predatory behavior. I mean, all I can see, if we look into some of the GG Poker statements, if we look into the bad pro, during gameplay, they might use real-time solvers, use advanced charts, data mine, bum hunt, collude, ghost, and so on. What is and so on? This is not a good communication to my point of view. Also, bum hunting. I want to focus more here on the point of bum hunting and not colluding or real-time solvers and that kind of stuff. But you need to define what is actually bum hunting. If you don't define it, it's just a rubber band term, and you can decide in each case individually. And I'm not in the position, I don't have the data, I don't have access to large amount of data that where I can assess what are the metrics to gauge bum hunting, or to get access to any kind of tangible data to say, okay, this is bum hunting and this is not bum hunting. But I think it's possible to, let's say you're a poker player and you're playing cash game, that 50% of your sessions that you play, you need to open seed a table, so that you are also incentivized to start games, to run games, and not just join, because usually when we join, we try to look for weak opponents and then we join the tables, right? And if you do that solely, then of course this is, yeah, bum hunting to a very heavy degree. Or you could also install a rule that says if players leave, you have to keep sitting there for another, like, let's say 10 minutes on average. So sometimes if you have to leave, like, you cannot just always force the players to stay. Sometimes you have to leave. But let's say if you play 100 sessions and your average time after someone leaves, you staying on the table is below 5 minutes, then it's clearly that you're just trying to play against certain opponents, which means you're bum hunting. Is it that difficult to implement that, to track that data? I'm not sure. And I'm just coming up with random ideas. If you put me now in a room with some bright poker minds and we can talk about, I'm pretty sure we can come up with a lot of ideas to make that very clear what bum hunting means, to install data, not to install data, but to install some very clear guidelines on how you can provide a definition of bum hunting. It's like, okay, if you do X, Y, Z, that's bum hunting, and we have the right to ban you, right? And none of the players have received any warning. And if you do something so unprecedented, then you should be very open in your communication. I haven't received anything when I signed up that says, Mr. Benjamin Rolle, if you do X, Y, Z, please be aware we might ban you. PokerStars is doing that with Icy Miser or HRC, right? When you have a certain software open, you get a warning, right? Don't use that software while the poker site is open. So why not receiving warnings on that site as well? Hey, you're bum hunting. Claim you have high security standards. Why is there zero communication with the players? This has nothing to do with high security standards or trying to provide a great, excellent service for the players. To me, these are just rubber band laws, and you can stretch them to your like and decide on each of the players individually in each of the cases, depending how much money is at stake. This is how it sounds to me. I don't understand why there's no clear communication and clear ruling. Now, some might say, yeah, well, then people are going to try to exploit that in a certain, not necessarily exploit it, but let's say if you have a certain limit. So let's say, yeah, every second session you need to open sit somewhere. Then they're really trying to stretch to the limit, right? And this might be dangerous. While you can also install a certain puffer, if that is the right word. So you know how it is with elevators, where it says maximum weight 500 kilos. If you're at 501 kilos in the elevator, it's not going to crash, right? So of course there's a puffer. It's like it might crash at 600 or 700. So just to be sure it's not dangerous, everyone is safe, it's 500 kilos, just a random number. You could do the same with your definition. If you think, okay, there's a certain threshold, if players get over it, it's dangerous for the ecology of poker, for the sustainability of poker. But of course, you shouldn't make it so tight. Leave a little bit of wiggle room, so to speak. But this is something that is in the responsibility of the poker side to do some research and being a bit more creative and then installing clear rules. And then I think something like this is not gonna happen again. Okay, the next point, what really bothers me a lot, is GG Poker basically trying to put the responsibility away from identifying players that got banned, because clearly they're not only banning what I would assume is not reasonable to ban, but of course there are also cheaters or really bad people that they probably ban. And I'm just wondering if these, and apparently it happened quite a lot, that people return and their money gets confiscated, and you claim you have high security standards, why can they sign up in the first place? And Duty also, he shared that in the channel, can apparently prove that he signed up with exactly the same data. He used the exact same data, just on a different skin, yet they passed. He could sign up and he could continue to play. right? And he could even deposit a large amount of money. It's not just he deposited $10. I think he deposited 50 grand. There should be an alarm bell. There should be some sort of signal going on, and a security team should look into that. This is, I can tell you, this is a very, very outstanding number if you look on the average amount of money that is being deposited. So if people can just sign up even though they're banned, they're not protecting us from banned players. That's not good. That's very unreliable, to be honest. It's their job, and this is what they claim, to provide a safe and fun environment. Well, awesome. Apparently I'm playing against a bunch of banned players. Great. That are really supposed to be banned. That are doing some really bad shit, whether it's cheating, colluding, multi-accounting. Awesome. That feels very safe, right? So, and as far as I know, I've read a tweet that they haven't had access to the emails of the skins. So that's why they couldn't identify Dirty when he signed up on a different skin. This is just I don't know how to say. I have to be careful about the words that I'm choosing here. So this is either a very high level of incompetence, right? Because I have a business. I know what the possibilities in terms of security and technology. I mean, of course, not to such an extent as the poker sites have. Let's keep it a little flat here. But you're telling me that as a poker site, you have no access. You're banning players from your network, and then you don't have access to the skins that belong to the same network, or to the emails. You don't have access to the emails of the same network, just a different skin. I don't understand. Why are you banning people in the first place? Like, I don't get it. So either it's just a very high level of incompetence, or it was on purpose. There are only two options, right? So you can make up your own mind. I'm just putting my finger into the wound. And this is something that I haven't really seen people talking about that on social media. I mean, you have to think about that you ban players from your network, and then you don't have access to the emails of the skins. I don't get it. Or to that, maybe it was just this one skin, but I mean, this is very outrageous, to be honest. This shouldn't happen. Never. So once again, what really bothers me is trying to promote this. Yeah, we have a fun environment to provide, and then you're not protecting us from playing against players that are actually banned. The real shady players that you need to protect us from playing against. This is your responsibility, and this is where a lot of money needs to go in, so we really have a fun and safe experience. So whatever it requires, you need to have a protocol in place that screens and monitors all the signups on your skins, matches the data with your database where you have banned players in your database, and then of course you get a warning and you can take action immediately and not let the players play against those players that have very bad intentions, because this really harms the experience of everyone, including fun players, which you're promoting, trying to support as much as possible. So again, I think this bum hunting issue is easily resolved if you just have open lobbies. If you want to play NL50, join a lobby, and then you get randomly seated with players. I don't know. I'm not a tech guy. In fact, I'm really dumb when it comes to hardware. I'm happy I can turn on my computer. I know how to plug in a socket, but that's pretty much it. And I can connect my USB drive. But I know that we can fly to the moon. So I'm pretty sure, as other poker sites can do, just have an open lobby or anonymous lobby, and whenever you want to play, you join that lobby. You might not even see who's in that lobby. You just see how many players, and of course the stakes, and then you join, and then you get randomly seated with other players. I'm a big fan of that. And you need to adjust. You need to play against the players, and then I think there's no need talking about bum hunting, right? Yeah, but we'll see. So, of course, I also want to share my point of view, whether they should have kept the money or they should pay it back. I think they should pay it back. It's your responsibility. If you let him join, you basically then, yeah, let him come back and you provide your services. And if they won the money in a fair manner, then they should get the money back. It was your mistake to let them play in the first place after they got banned. This should have been avoided, and this is where I think you need to take ownership. I as far as I know, they have paid back the deposit, but at least a larger amount should have been paid back. I mean, 50K, it's in total 180K, they paid back 50K, but I think they should pay back everything and just see that as a bump in the road, a lesson they might have learned. I mean, they're one of the younger poker sites. And to be honest, I would have appreciated. I think all of us wouldn't have minded if they would have been very honest, just straightforward, and admitting that they also did mistakes and they're learning and they're improving. And I would have, if a poker site has the ability to admit mistakes and be very transparent about it, I think it actually does more good than bad, because now they're very intransparent. The tweets are a bit weird. Their statement about the regular pro, the bad pro, the good pro. How about we make a statement about a good poker side, a regular poker side, and a bad poker side? Let's talk about that, not only about the players. Because what's happening here is, like, yeah, it's all about the poker players that are responsibility for sustainability of the game. Yes, to a certain degree we are. So are the poker sides. So we should talk about that as well. And this is something that really bothers me. I'm asking you, how would you feel about it? Maybe you can let me know in the comments if GG would have made a statement. Hey, yeah, okay. I mean, it's clear that no transparency, very poor ruling or very poor definition of their policies. And how would you feel about if they make a statement? Hey, we changed it, we amended it. They can still say that from their point of view that they're good intent. They might, I don't know what the intentions were with that whole situation there. But to me, the way it looks, it's free rolling players. It's literally free rolling players. If you don't do anything until the point they start winning, and then you confiscate their money, I wouldn't have said anything if someone signs out, he deposits money, and then you say, well, no, you are not supposed to play, or we ban you, and maybe even take a portion of the deposit or whatever. But I'm pretty sure, and it could have happened to me, there's so many skins. If you're new and if you're not familiar, you play so many different poker sites that you don't know what skin you're playing on. Again, of course, it could have been avoided by the players as well, not signing up again with one of their skins. But again, at the end of the day, it's also the image, it's also the light that or not the light, but yeah, the impressions of that whole situation, and this is just not good. And to me, it really looks like free rolling players, and I'm very happy, not happy with it. And it's just the accumulation of all the things that have happened with their ruling, with their policies, and their communication with the public. I really haven't had the impression that they try to decide in the interest of the player. Now let's talk about the players, and this is something that actually also makes me very upset. I actually can understand the poker sites, because we're idiots. Literally, we're idiots. I mean, it has gotten to my attention that now GG Poker provided the option to return to their site, but the money is not being paid back. You're scammed for a lot of money and you return to the poker site. I'm not only talking about Duty. I'm not sure if he returned, but I've heard that a lot of players have returned despite of their money being confiscated. I just don't understand that. And I mean, as a content provider and as someone that tries to make an impact and speak out a lot of things that are going wrong. I mean, if we're not doing it, who is it doing it? I don't know. It's weird to me. why would you return to a site that has taken your money? It's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I see Skype groups and Discord groups, and I've been in these groups, and it's just a shit show, to be honest. They're not capable of creating a group, creating a union. We talked about that with Pats, and it's just not happening. And if I am in the position of the poker side, I mean, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take advantage of that. But I can understand that it's like, well, these idiots, they're coming back anyway. These addicts, they want to gamble. They're all degenerators. So, of course, like, what the fuck? Like, we can do whatever we want anyway. We can increase the rake, right? We can provide shitty structures. And this is just what makes me really, really upset that this shit happens over and over again. And this is, I think, when we don't stand up for it and we don't do anything about it, things are getting worse. And yeah, and this is, of course, very, very sad. And I don't want this to happen. And you know, you try to make an impact. You try to shed some light on it. And yeah, and then you see that the players are like, well, at least we can return. So be it. Yeah, some are trying to speak up. Most of them tries to stay silent, to not get into trouble, to at least keep playing. I mean, I don't want to blame here any individual. It's more about my experience that I've made over the last month and years. Whenever there was a scandal or whenever there was something, I was trying to work with the players behind closed curtains. But I never really had the impression that anyone really wants to take it serious. I mean, there are a few, but at the end, it needs a large group of people to represent the interests of the poker players. And when something like this happens, we can have a communication with the poker sites and also some leverage, boycott games, stay away from certain poker sites for a while. At the end of the day, we are responsible for the traffic. And yeah, I think we actually have so much leverage, but we're not using it, of course, for a good cause. So with all these groups we had so far when we were talking about province, never really anything happened because everyone has its own agenda. The poker players have a hard time to forget about their individual EV, to succumb to the greater good, and whether it's for the tournament structures, for rake, whatever, for scandals, it was always about, oh, now okay, we wanna change the structure. Let's also talk about abandoning PKOs. I don't like PKOs, so we should abandon them. And then it just gets a lot of spam, and then another jumps in. I don't like this format. I don't like this structure, and then it just gets a whole mess. I mean, we all need to agree on one or two things that we want to address. Change sometimes takes time, and if everyone is fighting for their own agenda, of course, this is never gonna happen. And yeah, and I feel like then poker players get too greedy, want too much, and then of course the poker sites are also having a hard time to listening to us. And so far, the way it's going, I've been in so many different groups that try to change something, try to address problems, and to me it seems like a waste of time. And I was also spending a lot of time in that situation, to read through the cases, to get a lot of info, to talk to people. But yeah, I'm also now at a point, I want to be honest with you, that I don't really know how much time I want to spend. I mean, I could spend my time on creating content, making YouTube videos, helping more people. I feel like it's not going anywhere. Well, what's going to change? Like, I cannot change anything by my own. We need a large group of people to fight for our interests, to not that this is going to happening again. And yeah, and I don't want to say fuck it, but I have that kind of mentality when you try to invest time and energy onto something, and then you see that, yeah, a lot of players are just having their own interests at heart. I think there were boycotts, and then some players returned because the games were juicy. I remember we had some boycotts back in the days with the sit and goes, and certain players didn't care. The games were juicy, so they kept playing. And of course, if you have 100 players boycotting the games and 5 players are taking advantage of it, then the 6th and the 7th players see, oh, if he's playing, I'm going to also keep playing. And it's just happening over and over again. And feels like it's a very selfish mentality, which I understand to a certain degree. We're all selfish, but when it comes to that, I think We need to be a little less selfish. So yeah, I don't know how to continue from here. What's going to happen? I just want to speak up my mind. Maybe, of course, I always have some hope that something is going to change. At least bringing attention to it, raising awareness is at least something we can all do. At least we as a content producers, we have a certain responsibility to address these kind of issues. But yeah, this is something that I don't understand. Now you might wonder, well, Ben, you also played on GG up until today. Well, there was the WCOP going. I mean, you can call me a hypocrite. I would understand that. So yeah, I was still playing on GG in the meantime, of course. So yeah, I would understand if someone would say, hey Ben, you're a hypocrite, you criticize the site and you're still playing. To be honest, I wanted to play the WSOP. I don't want to harm the brand of the WSOP. I think it's a holy brand. So that's why I'm also releasing this video now after the WSOP. I mean, I don't want to harm anything or anyone or just shit on a poker site or use that for some publicity. But I understand that. I don't even have anything to say against, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to stop playing or if I can keep playing. I will think about it. I need to think about it. I need to maybe speak to some more people. But this is something where I think everyone has to make up their own minds. But at the end of the day, if I don't see that other players are taking advantage of it, or not taking advantage, sorry, are taking it serious and also trying to forget or neglect a little bit of their own EV for the greater good and trying to stand up against it. Again, I can't do that on my own. Then I'm also going to give a fuck. Then I'm also going to keep playing on the sides. I'm just chasing my own EV, trying to get as most EV out of it possible, and then just focusing on Raise Your Edge and our community. And then I'm going to be a happy person. I'm trying my best, but I can't do more than that. I'm not going to waste or spend my entire life on that kind of thing if I don't see, okay, that other people are getting it, or majority of the poker community is getting it, and then I'm also going to keep doing my own thing. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I think they should pay the money back. Confiscating the funds is basically the death penalty for a poker player. It couldn't get any worse. You get banned and your money is being taken away. I mean, maybe if they throw your computer out of the window and you wouldn't be even able to log into the poker sites. But it couldn't get any worse. So there is someone that gets banned, not even for cheating or anything, just for he was breaking their undefined terms. So it was not even clear if he broke their terms in the first place. They couldn't even really say why they got banned in the first place for most of the players. And then he returns and he gets all his money taken away. This is just out of proportion. You can say whatever you want, and that some of the players did the mistake to return. Yes, it's a mistake, but we should see that in proportion. And this is completely unreasonable. Like, this has nothing to do with high security standards, and I really hope it's never going to happen again. And I really want to see a change here. Maybe now I'm a bad pro because I'm criticizing a poker site. Again, I'm not going to say of course I'm supporting every poker site. I think we need a lot of competition, and I really like what GG Poker was doing up until this point. I hope they change something. I hope they turn it into a better direction and learn from it and take some ownership. And then I really hope this is not going to happen again. Let me know what you think about it. Maybe I'm missing something. Of course, I'm just speaking out my mind, the way I see things. And yeah, if I'm missing something, please let me know. And then I hope, we're gonna have a bright future in poker.